here we go, back on it. I'm gonna read Proverbs chapter 5. This is just like a warning against adultery. Pretty much what the world is trying to make okay. It's pushing it out there in so many ways to normalize it, stepping out on your wife, your husband, all these things, right? Son, pay attention and listen to my wisdom and insight. Then you will know how to behave properly, and your words will show that you have knowledge. The lips of another man's wife may be as sweet as honey, and her kisses as smooth as olive oil, but when it is all over, she leaves you nothing but bitterness and pain. She will take you down to the world of the dead. The road she walks is the road to death. She does not stay on the road to life, but wanders off and does not realize what is happening. Now listen to me, sons, and never forget what I am saying. Keep away from such a woman. Don't even go near her door. If you do, others will gain the respect that you once had, and you will die young at the hands of merciless men. Yes, strangers will take all your wealth, and what you have worked for will belong to someone else. You will lie groaning on your deathbed, your flesh and muscles being eaten away, and you will say, "Why would I never learn? Why would I never let anyone correct me? I wouldn't listen to my teachers. I paid no attention to them, and suddenly I found myself publicly disgraced." Be faithful to your own wife and give your love to her alone. Children that you have by other women will do you no good. Your children should grow up to help you, not strangers. So be happy with your wife and find your joy with the girl you marry. Pretty and graceful as a deer, let her charms keep you happy. Let her surround you with her love. Son, excuse me. Why should you give your love to another woman? Why should you prefer the charms of another man's wife? The Lord sees everything you do. Wherever you go, he is watching. The sins of a wicked man are a trap. He gets caught in the net of his own sin. Caught in the net of his... I read that, sorry. He dies because he has no self-control. His utter stupidity will send him to his grave. See how the world, the programming, they're trying to normalize that, just stepping out. And I'm gonna tell you guys a story about me. There was this woman, right? This was a long time ago, right? I loved her, yes, but she had a husband, and because of that, that's how I know God was with me. Because of that, it's just like no matter how much I loved her, it just didn't feel right, I couldn't move forward, I just, it's like, damn, no matter how much I love this person. And I know if we would have been together, stuff would have been great and whatnot. But it's just like your conscience, God be talking to you. So God is watching over a lot of us and talking to us. It's just that society now is trying to program us, and they're trying to normalize these things, adultery and hooking up with other men's wives, and make it like it's nothing. So now you no longer hear that voice because it's the programming have you thinking it's okay now. We gotta honor and respect our wives, our husbands, and just do right by each other. The two shall become one. All right. A man shall leave his house and his mom and his dad and cleave on to his wife. And it says in the book of Genesis, the very first book of the Bible, it talks about that. What is it? Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. It's teamwork. You guys work together, and don't let nobody come between that. And I talked about the grounds for divorce and everything too. Like, say if stuff isn't working and then you got stepping out, you got an adulterous woman, that's grounds for divorce. And it's so many things, but yeah, don't subscribe to the programming, and yeah, especially on social media now. There's a lot of married women out there. They don't say nothing. They're just looking for a good time. They're just looking for somebody to, you know, splurge on them, buy them things, you know, take them around, show them off. There was a whole website, AshleyMadison.com or something like that, for married couples to hook up. And I remember them broadcasting it on the radio. How crazy is that, right? See, so don't subscribe to the program and you just corrupting one another, hurting one another. And it says it, a man will lose everything, you know, his wealth, all of that, for messing with another man's wife. Especially if the husband catches that man sleeping with his wife. Who knows, that man could end up dead. Both of them could end up dead, you know, in prison and all. Why would you risk your life for just, why? There are billions of people in this world. You choose to mess with somebody's wife? Come on, man. Use this. Forget about what you see, right? Looks are deceiving. And these people themselves are wicked. They're putting you in the traps. You know, they succumb to their flesh. All right, these women, they just want what they want. They want to just let their desires control them. The lustful, the fleshly desires, and they want what they want. Be careful. And as we get more into Proverbs, we're gonna get deeper into that. But let me read. All right, chapter 6 is more warnings. This is pretty much about getting out of the traps. Have you been caught by your own words, trapped by your own promises? Okay. And lazy people will not prosper, you know. Okay. Oh, let me read this specific verse for you guys. This is Proverbs 6, verse 16 to 19. There are 7 things that the Lord hates and cannot tolerate: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that kill innocent people, a mind that thinks of wicked plans, feet that hurry off to do evil, a witness who tells one lie after another, and a man who stirs up trouble among friends. 7 things. Keep that in your head. But let me finish off chapter 6 with 20, right? Verse 20. This is about adultery again. So this is serious business. Son, do what your father tells you and never forget what your mother taught you. Keep their words with you always, locked in your heart. Their teachings will lead you when you travel, protect you at night, and advise you during the day. Their instructions are a shining light. Their correction can teach you how to live. It can keep you away from bad women, from the seductive words of other men's wives. Don't be tempted by their beauty. Don't be trapped by their flirting eyes. A man can hire a prostitute for the price of a loaf of bread, but adultery will cost him all he has. What I was just talking about, right? Can you carry fire against your chest without burning your clothes? And the funny thing is, not funny, but I read this when I first started off reading the Bible. There's a video about this, but now I can go in more depth. You know, I'm soaking up wisdom, and it's like a recap, you know, adding with what I learned. Okay, so let me finish. Can you walk on hot coals without burning your feet? It is just as dangerous to sleep with another man's wife. Whoever does it will suffer. People don't despise a thief if he steals food when he is hungry. Yet if he is caught, he must pay back 7 times more. He must give up everything he has. But a man who commits adultery doesn't have any sense. He is just destroying himself. He will be dishonored and beaten up. He will be permanently disgraced. A husband is never angrier than when he is jealous. His revenge knows no limits. He will not accept any payment. No amount of gifts will satisfy his anger. It's crazy, right? A lot of let's just say the men running around with other people's wives, they don't know the husbands, right? There was something, I think it was like last year or whatever, this man just lost it and killed his wife, right? I think he ended up killing himself as well. You don't know these people, right? You don't know, like I said before, there's billions of people, billions of women. Why choose to mess with another man's wife? Why not respect your fellow brother? Especially the boys that are running around bragging, oh, I slept with your wife, I slept with this. Listen, you could talk, you could boast, you could do all these things. It's clearly saying you'll end up dead, all your wealth and everything, it will be lost. And especially if that husband is not right in his head, he's broken, he's damaged, he has nothing else to lose. Because a man's purpose, I'll tell you that, to provide, protect, give security, start a family, be fruitful and multiply. You take that away from a man, that man that genuinely loves his wife, and you take that away from him. You take away all that his family, you're putting him through divorce and everything because you want to run around, because you want to live an adulterous life and screw the man, right? If that man is weak spiritually, right, and it's just broken, you broke that man is dangerous. He can unalive you. He can do so much to you because you took his life away. You guys be wise, be smart, man. Stop messing with other people's wife. And if you're messing with another man's wife, right? And y'all get the marriage was good. She just said he was boring. He doesn't do this. He does. What's to say she wouldn't do that to you? Use this. Don't care how good they look. I just read it to you guys. Guys, be wise, man. Leave that man's wife alone. Let him go to whatever. If there's grounds for divorce, so be it. Let them do it the right way. Don't jeopardize your safety, at all. Don't get yourself into a world of trouble. You guys be safe. You know what? I'm gonna finish this off with chapter 7. This is going more into it. Son, remember what I say and never forget what I tell you to do. Do what I say and you will live. Be as careful to follow my teaching as you are to protect your eyes. Keep my teachings with you all the time. Write it on your heart. Treat wisdom as your sister and insight as your closest friend. They will keep you away from other men's wives, from women with seductive words. Once I was looking out the window of my house, and I saw many inexperienced young men, but noticed one foolish fellow in particular. He was walking along the street near the corner where a certain woman lived. He was passing near her house in the evening after it was dark, and then she met him. She was dressed like a prostitute and was making plans. Social media, how much they normalize it so much. These women half dressed, showing off everything. But let me continue. She was a bold and shameless woman who always walked the streets or stood waiting at a corner, sometimes in the streets, sometimes in the marketplace. She threw her arms around the young man, kissed him, looked him straight in the eye, and said, I made my offering today and have the meat from the sacrifice. So I came out looking for you. I wanted to find you, and here you are. I've covered my bed with sheets of colored linen from Egypt. I perfumed it with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come on, let's make love all night long. We'll be happy in each other's arms. My husband isn't at home. He's on a long trip. He took plenty of money with him and won't be back for 2 weeks. So she tempted him with her charms, and he gave into her smooth talk. Suddenly he was going with her like an ox on the way to be slaughtered, like a deer prancing into a trap. Where an arrow would pierce its heart, he was like a bird going into a net. He did not know that his life was in danger. You get caught up in the flesh, and then you just giving in. It just feels good. Feels good at the moment, right? Because you're not using this. Now then, sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let such a woman win your heart. Don't go wandering after her. She has been the ruin of many men and caused the death of too many to count. If you go to a house, you are on the way to the world of the dead. It is a shortcut to death. That's it. It's Proverbs 5, 6, 7. Be careful, be wise, and leave these people alone. Everybody has their own separate journey, their awakening. You know, they can be redeemed and all these things. It's just try to keep yourself away from it, right? Because flesh, once we develop that urge, that desire, that hunger to give into this, wages of sin is death. So be careful.